a content creator, content unicorn. I'm Regina from reginapaula.com, and this video is on how to add text to the right side of your logo within Divi. And if you're here already, you know what Divi is. If for some reason you don't, Divi is a premium WordPress theme that I've been using, which is really super flexible and easy to use. And so one of my clients was saying, hey, I'd love to add text to my logo. And I was saying, well, you know what? The easiest way to do it is to just add it straight to your logo. So this is her site, and she wanted the text right here, right next to her logo. So instead of doing it within Divi, I was thinking, let's just take the logo and let's run with it. And so I'm just going to save the logo on my hard drive, and because I'm not a designer, I do a lot of my graphics within canva.com or spark.com. Spark is run by Adobe, and they're just free tools that you can use to make your images look beautiful. You don't have to be a designer. There's lots of really cool templates. Now, I actually have the purchased version of Canva, which allows me some extra features that I like to use for doing stuff. And so the default Divi logo, when you first set up the Divi theme on WordPress, is 93 by 43 pixels. So you can see that this logo here is 376 by 304. I just kind of kept it like that because it's a small file anyway, and it's better that it's a bigger image than too small, because then it'll get all pixelated, and this already itself isn't super high quality anyway. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to, let's do 376, and then just to make it, let's make this 304, because I kind of want to make it longer. I'm just going to make it really big for now. I'm just going to make it 1,000. Now this is probably easier in Photoshop or in GIMP, which is GIMP is the open source version of Photoshop. I do use Canva the most. I do use a mix of tools on my computer and on my phone. So let's just add that. I just drag and drop that image to here, and I'm just going to stick this here. And what I'm actually going to end up doing, which is later on, is crop this. I'm just going to fit this to the bounds of that. I'm just getting the edges as close as the edges of the logo as close to the edge as possible. The edge of the boundary or the border. If this bit is not long enough, because she's got quite a long name for her business name, if it's not long enough, then I can always resize it because I have the paid version, which is not a major. So let's move. So I just picked Times New Roman as the font. That's just what she wants to use. And I'm going to center it. Obviously make the text bigger. I'm pretty sure it's going to go outside the bounds, which is fine. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to resize it to custom dimensions. I'm going to keep the 304, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go a little bigger. And Divi set up so that it resizes the image anyway, so I can always resize it later on. Cool, so I resized the image, and this looks about good. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to save it. I'm going to compress the file size just to make it a bit smaller, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just clicking transparent background because I normally do. The only thing though is that because the background of this logo is actually white, it doesn't really matter. So if you're going to use this logo on a colored background, the color is going to show through the text, but not the white parts of this logo. So like if you have Photoshop or GIMP, I probably would just select the white and remove it. But because the website itself has a white background, to me, I'm not really too concerned at the moment. And if this logo, if these words are going to be used elsewhere, then I probably would actually just get a logo properly done with the background removed, which is the white bits around the circle part of the icon logo. So I'm just going to save this, compress the file. Let's just compress it in half, transparent background. Let's just download it. And then, so we've got the logo. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the dashboard and we're going to scroll down. So we're in the WordPress dashboard. We're going to scroll down and we're just going to go to Divi, click on Divi, and we're going to upload the logo. And so you can see here that there's already a logo here, but let's just, if I click on reset, all it does is just remove it. So we can just go ahead and upload the image. And the media library will pop up once you click on upload image. Just set it as the logo, and then we're going to save this here in the dashboard, and it's doing stuff here. And once that's done, I'm just going to reload that and see what happens. And I didn't see anything happening, but maybe what I can do is just open it up in an incognito window here, clean browser, and see what happens. And I still don't see it up here, which makes me wonder what's going on. And so just to double check to see what's actually going on, I'm just going to look at the actual image itself in a new browser. And it's still showing the old one, which kind of confuses me actually. So I'm going back here and I'm just making sure the changes are saved. And I have this here. So the other thing that I can think of is that perhaps there's somewhere else in the theme settings that is overriding this. So actually this now works. The logo is up and running, and the favicon is up and running. It kind of wasn't working the last time when I did the last tutorial. But what was happening was, because it's been a few days since I've actually gone back to this, it wasn't showing up. I had removed the logo name file within the Divi settings so that it would default back to the Divi logo just to see if it would work. And it took like a day, and then I couldn't for the life of me get it back to go to this logo with a new text on there. However, I did find out what potentially could have prevented it from refreshing. So in the plugins, there are these two plugins here, the A2 Fixed Cache and then the A2 Optimized WordPress. So the hosting that I'm using for my clients is A2 hosting, and I did quite a bit of research for different companies, and I currently use HostGator, but moving forward with clients and myself, A2 is just a company that I've been really happy with. If you're interested in them, I can put my affiliate link in the comments, but otherwise you can just do a search. You would do what's best for you. So because this was actually, these two plugins here were actually not activated. And so I activated them, and then I refreshed the main page, and sure enough, the logo that we had set up showed up. So that's one thing too. A lot of times when you're using hosting, or really, I guess, any of kind of your major plugins, oftentimes there'll be a safe mode to be able to update your plugins or have some of your plugins work correctly. And what that essentially does is it disables a couple of kind of major plugins that would be interfering with the ability to update certain plugins. And I ran into this with another client. Her system is quite different. So she actually was using the old version of WP Bakery, which was Visual Composer. And there's an easy, what's the plugin that she used? It was like Easy Updater, Easy Update Downloads or something. And so that particular plugin gave you a full interface of all the plugins that are there, and it gave you the ability to kind of turn off the updates, the ability to update the plugins. And so what happens is when you turn those off, it almost looks like you don't need to update any plugins at all. So we had to activate that to update a couple of other plugins. But because it looked like she didn't have any plugins that she needed to update, like all the versions of the plugins are really old and her WordPress version was really old, so we had to update that. Anyways, going back to this, I hope this helps you. It's just a simple recreation of the logo, or at least adding text to the actual logo rather than using the WordPress interface to add text to that. And if you guys have any other questions, let me know. If there's any tutorials or any thing that you'd like me to cover, or maybe there's tips that you guys can give me too on similar topics, then just let me know. I'm happy to get your feedback either way. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Cheers. Bye.